Hello everybody, it's Wolfie51 here and I'm bringing you my SummerSlam 2020 prediction video. So these are going to be my predictions for the 2020 SummerSlam pay-per-view of WWE. As the day I'm recording this and as the day it's going up, it's Wednesday the 19th of August. SummerSlam's not till this Sunday the 23rd, so I'll record this before SmackDown. So more matches could be announced on SmackDown or in the future. So just to say, when I do my reaction to SummerSlam, my vote probably most likely is going to be on Monday. When those are up, if there's any matches that have been announced beforehand, I will tell you in the video my predictions for that match. For instance, if Cesaro Nakamura vs Lucha House Party gets announced on SmackDown, on my reaction video, I will say, hey, I'm going with Lucha House Party, for example. But today I'm going to be predicting the 8 matches that have currently been 100% announced for SummerSlam. When they kick it off with the Raw Tag Team Championship match, we've got the Street Profits, Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford versus Andrade and Angel Garza. And they've got us a leader, very good at ringside. Now, I'm just going to go straight to it. I think the Street Profits are retaining. Because I think, personally, Andrade and Angel Garza aren't lasting. I feel like Andrade may turn on Angel Garza here and cost him the match, like maybe attacks Garza, hits him with the Hammerlock DDT, and then Montez Ford leaps and gets the pin. And you can say the Street Profits have the titles for a goddamn long time, but I feel like Andrade and Angel Garza aren't the people to beat them. So I think this is quite simple. I thought they was going to have matches Extreme Rules, but they'll keep it all down to SummerSlam, which is quite smart. I feel like, obviously, they'll probably have a draft in September, October, sometime between there. And Street Profits can take those titles, stay on Raw, or I don't know. But I feel like, at SummerSlam, anyway, my prediction, the Street Profits steal your Raw Tag Team titles. Maybe a bit risky. Some people really think Vince is behind Andrade and Angel Garza, but I still think the Street Profits have been doing really well with the tag team division across the whole performance era, so Street Profits are retaining the tag team titles. Moving on next, we've got the first women's match we've got with the SmackDown Women's Championship on the line. We've got Bayley defending her championship against Asuka. Now, Asuka's got 2 matches. She's got the Raw Women's Championship match, especially Banks, which we'll talk about later. This is the SmackDown Women's Championship match with Bayley. So, Bayley versus Asuka. I feel like with these matches with Asuka, she's going to win one and lose one. So I feel like she is not winning the SmackDown Women's Championship. So I feel like Bayley is going to win it. I feel like what's going to happen is Sasha Banks is going to obviously be at ringside, and she's going to get involved. Bayley's going to hit that DDT on Asuka, and then she's going to pin Asuka, and Bayley will remain your SmackDown Women's Champion. And that brings me on to the Raw Women's Championship, because then Sasha Banks will be defending her Raw Women's Championship against Asuka. And I think they're going to make Asuka a 2-time Raw Women's Champion, because I feel like, just like, with Bayley, I thought they was going to do Extreme Rules, but they didn't, but I feel like they can do it now. Like, Sasha got involved to help Bayley win. Bayley will try and get involved to help Sasha win, but she'll screw Sasha over, so Asuka will, get the Asuka lock in and make Sasha Banks tap, or she'll pass out. Asuka will become your new Raw Women's Champion. So I feel like then at Payback, obviously, I feel like they're going to lose the Women's Tag Team Champions due to Bayley, and then they're going to have that Sasha Banks versus Bayley match at some point in the future for the SmackDown Women's Championship, which obviously they've extended it past SummerSlam due to them being no crowd, but I feel like, yeah, so that's my predictions. Bayley to defeat Asuka and retain the SmackDown Women's Championship, or Asuka to defeat Sasha Banks and become your new Raw Women's Champion. So now we can move on to the United States Championship match with Apollo Crews defending his championship against MVP. And obviously, Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin are banned from ringside. I don't know what happens if Benjamin or Lashley come down to ringside this match. I don't know. Does MVP automatically get disqualified and lose and Crews retains? I don't know. Obviously, there might be some chaos in the backstage with Ricochet, Cedric Alexander, and Mustafa Ali. Obviously, Benjamin's got that 24/7 championship. Alexander, they're probably trying to be chasing that off him. But I feel like Crews is retaining it. Apollo Crews on Raw, he pinned MVP clean, tossed him powerbomb. He's beat him clean several times. I don't think they're going to give it to MVP. I think this is just a way to build up the Crews and Lashley match, which they're most likely going to have either Payback next week or Clash of Champions next month. I feel like they'll wait till Clash of Champions though. So I feel I've got this one: Apollo Crews retaining the United States Championship after the match. Lashley sort of may attack Crews. He comes down and attacks him, and then we build into that big Lashley and Crews match. Where unfortunately, I think Lashley maybe winning the US title. But yeah, Apollo Crews to retain the United States Championship. Moving on next, we have Mandy Rose versus Sonya Deville in a hair versus hair match. So basically what this means is the winner has to shave the loser's hair off. So basically whoever wins gets to shave the loser's hair off, like bloop, all of this off. So I know Sonya Deville's on a bit of a put, so you say you'll have Sonya win here. If this was a normal match, I'd have Sonya Deville win. But because it's hair versus hair, unpopular opinion, I'm going to go with Mandy Rose. I'm going with Mandy Rose to get the dub for this one. The reason being is, I think Sonya Deville would be better bowled than Mandy. Just what I'm thinking. So I feel like Sonya could fit a character more as bold. She'd look badass bold, Sonya would. So I feel like they're going to have Mandy Rose win with some shenanigans or something, like Otis will get involved, Mandy may roll up Sonya, get the 1, 2, 3, and that's what I'm predicting. Mandy Rose to somehow, some way, defeat Sonya Deville, and then Mandy Rose will tie Sonya to the chair and shave her hair off, and then they'll probably have another match at Clash of Champions or Payback, where Sonya will probably get a win back, not her versus her. But yeah, my prediction for this one is hair versus her match, Mandy Rose with the victory. We're coming close to the end, but now we've got Dominic Mysterio with Rey Mysterio in his corner versus Seth Rollins with Murphy in a street fight. Which means anything goes, you can do anything in a street fight. And I am personally pumped for this match. Apart from the Drew and Randy stuff, this feud is probably the best non-title feud we have had in a long time. It is just amazing. The stuff that we've been doing for the past couple of months, ever since after Money in the Bank with Mysterio's eye, and building Dominic Mysterio. Dominic Mysterio, I think, is just, he can become something huge. And that's why I think this is going to be a really good match. But I think Dominic Mysterio, on his debut, is coming out with the victory. I hope, anyway. Dominic Mysterio has the keys to being a good wrestler. It's a street fight. Murphy and Rey are going to be on the outside, but they're obviously getting involved. They are so getting involved. It's a street fight. You can do anything in a street fight. So I just think Dominic's going to win. I think Dominic and Rey will probably take out Murphy, and then they'll take on Rollins and Dominic Mysterio. Well, they hit a 6-1 hit a splash. Those kendo sticks are really going to come into play here, and I think the kendo sticks are going to be bashed in on to Seth Rollins, and in the end, Dominic Mysterio probably hit a 619, hit a splash, maybe do a double one with Rey, like we did to Brock at Survivor Series last year. And Dominic Mysterio will somehow pin Seth Rollins, and on his debut match, Dominic Mysterio will defeat the Monday Night Messiah and get the victory. It's just how it's got to be. It is a perfect way to just sum up this amazing debut of Dominic Mysterio. It's just how it's going to be, and I think that will be epic if Dominic Mysterio walked out here with a victory, because he's got the keys to be such an amazing pro wrestler, and they can build his career here just like his father's. And yeah, that's our predictions. Dom Mysterio with the victory over Seth Rollins at SummerSlam. 2 matches left. We've got both the world title matches left. We're going to talk about the one from SmackDown with the Universal Championship on the line. The monster Braun Strowman versus the Fiend Bray Wyatt. Now, this is a bit weird because I think Braun Strowman is definitely a heel now. And is Bray Wyatt a face? I think when they turned Strowman heel, they sort of may have turned Wyatt into a face. Which is very weird, being as the Fiend. But I don't know, it's a bit weird. But I feel like here, they've got to have the Fiend come out of this one. Your new Universal Champion. I just feel like they've got to do it. Strowman's Universal Championship reign. Everyone's been saying it's not been the best. I think it's been decent, actually. I think it's been alright. Strowman as the Universal Champion's been actually alright. So obviously he's had this feuds. He defeated Funhouse Bray at Money in the Bank. He had that mini feud with Miz and Monster, which was hilarious by the way for Backlash. But obviously he had the Eaters of the World's Bray Wyatt at Extreme Rules, when the Fiend came out at the end and changed Strowman's whole character into heel, Bold Strowman. Bold Strowman. That was quite funny. Bold Strowman. Obviously Strowman's the big, because Strowman's heel, people are saying maybe he beats the Fiend, and I don't know how to feel about that, to be honest with you. I feel like Strowman's had a decent reign as Universal Champion, but I feel like now it's time for him to drop the belt. I feel like Alexa Bliss will get involved in something, and the Fiend Bray Wyatt will defeat Braun Strowman here and become your new Universal Champion. I just don't know what happens from here. I don't feel like they can do a Strowman and Fiend feud again. This feud together has been absolutely spectacular, by the way, but I don't know where Braun goes after this. They say, for instance, Wyatt wins and becomes the new Universal Champion. Don't know where Braun goes. I don't know, the draft's coming up, so that can all change. But obviously we have Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt can have feuds with that Universal Championship. He's done Bryan, he's done The Miz, he's done Rollins, he's obviously done Braun now. There's other people in the past, like he can have one, Randy Orton, that's a good feud he could do. There's lots of feuds that Bray Wyatt could do with that Universal Championship. So, that's my prediction. The Fiend Bray Wyatt, your new WWE Universal Champion. Finally, I assume to be the main event, we have for the WWE Championship on the line, Drew McIntyre defending against the Viper, the Apex President, the Legend Killer, Randy Orton. So, I'm going straight to it. Your new WWE Champion, Randall Keith Orton. I think they need to give the title to Randy. It's just what he needs. He needs the championship. Personally, last year at SummerSlam, Randy should have beat Kofi Kingston and become the new WWE Champion. The fact that they didn't do that during Clash of Champs was a massive misjudge. Randy was the perfect person. If you wanted to end Kofi's reign, Randy was the person to do it. But because they didn't pull the strings, they didn't do it. But now they need to do it. Nothing against Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre is my favourite superstar on Monday Night Raw. Randy Orton probably is my third one. But I feel like we should give it to Randy. He's killed all his legends. Well, not killed them. He's put Edge on the shelf. Christian, Big Show, Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels. You need to give him this championship to just make him this mega heel. They're probably going to do Randy Drew 2 at Payback, and then it's just going to be Randy winning again. But I feel like what Randy's going to do is hit the RKO, punt, Drew will be out, Randy Orton pins Drew McIntyre and becomes your new WWE Champion. Drew has been fantastic as WWE Champion. Braun's reign, I said, was decent. Drew's has been good. He's had such good feuds, what he's been doing with him. Obviously, Seth Rollins. He then had Bobby Lashley, Dolph Ziggler, and now Randy Orton. These feuds have just been fabulous. They've changed other people's story. Like, as soon as Drew beat Seth, obviously, the race which has been good. Beat Lashley, the Hurt Business became a thing. Beat Dolph. Dolph's gone to Underground. It's actually finding success. And I feel like this is just going to be the start of something big for Randy. And he could do it here. Randy Orton, your new WWE Champion. I'm calling it now. Randy needs to win this and just establish himself. I don't know what feuds Randy can go to. Randy can go to feuds with anybody. Because the thing is, the problem is, if Drew wins here, I don't know who he moves on to after this. If Drew wins, I don't know who he moves on to. He's literally beat every other heel on Raw. There's like, for instance, if Randy wins, his faces like Kevin Owens he can feud with. Apollo Crews, Ali, Ricochet, Cedric Alexander. There's way more baby faces on Raw that he can feud with. He's beat all the heels. The heels have had a feud storyline. The faces now need the turn. The Mysterios, for example, you can do the Mysterios versus Orton. So, I feel like, yeah, that's what I'm going to say there. Randy Orton, your new WWE Champion. So we're going to go for the list again. Street Profits to retain the tag titles against Andrade and Angel Garza. Cruz to retain the United States Championship against MVP. Dominic Mysterio to defeat Seth Rollins in the street fight. Sasha Banks to lose against Asuka and Asuka to become the new Raw Women's Champion. Bayley to defeat Asuka and retain the SmackDown Women's Championship. The Fiend Bray Wyatt to defeat Strowman and become the new Universal Champion. Mandy Rose to defeat Sonya Deville in the Hair vs. Hair match. And finally, Randy Orton to defeat Drew McIntyre and become your new WWE Champion. These are my 8 predictions that have been announced so far as the 19th of August. There's probably more matches that are going to be announced as it comes down to it. As I said before, the matches that are announced, I will make come clear in the video, my reaction video to SummerSlam, which will hopefully be coming on Monday. If it doesn't get released on Monday, it will come out eventually. But I'm Minute51. This has been my SummerSlam 2020 prediction videos. See you guys later. Bye bye.